We have just arrived to Everest Base Camp, and I have to say, even at this altitude, even without being anywhere near to the summit, you really feel the impact of the decreased oxygen levels. The scenery here is absolutely spectacular. You really understand what the draw and heel is. That's the ice fall that is so famous. It's what the climbers first have to go through to get to Camp 1, and then, of course, as they move on up through the different camps and the different stops, trying to reach what is the one main goal that unites everybody here. Normally, this entire area at the peak of the season is covered in tents. What you have right now behind me is just a few tents that have been left. There are cleanup crews. There's still a handful of climbers that are down there, some of the last ones to come down from the summit on what has been an especially devastating hiking season for the summit of Everest because of the level of fatalities and because of the issues that arose from all of this backlog that took place, the photographs of the long lines of people waiting inside the death zone, called that because the levels of oxygen there are so low. Every breath you take in the death zone only gives you a third of the oxygen that you would get at sea level. So you have to be climbing with oxygen tanks. And so these long waiting hours may have contributed to the deaths that we did see, at least to most of them. And a lot of these climbers aren't dying on the way up. You can make it to that goal. You can make it to the summit. So when you come back down, that's when people's bodies tend to succumb to altitude sickness. A lot of debate right now as to whether or not Nepal needs to be doing more to regulate the number of permits, to regulate who goes up, what level of experience they have. There's been a lot of criticism about inexperienced climbers going up, but there's also a burden of responsibility on the individual. Yes, this is such a challenge. It is such a goal that is really going to push you mentally and physically to the limit. But all of the climbers we're talking to are saying you really need to know how to listen to your body. And just being here right now, one really feels the effect of the lower levels of oxygen.